Good morning. It's Sunday, the fifth Sunday in Lent. The readings for the day can be found in the link below. Jesus says, "I am the resurrection and the life. Those who believe in me, even though they die, will live. And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die." And he raises Lazarus to new life. This is good news and gives us all hope. If we believe that the good news of Jesus and God's ability to bring life after death is only about the end of our mortal lives, we miss the good news available to us right now. God's ability to bring life from death is about more than the end of our lives. It's about here and now also. The story from John's Gospel is not about what Jesus does once at the end of our lives. God, through Jesus, brings life from death, not only at the end of our physical life, but here and now, again and again. Paul reminds the Romans that the Spirit of Christ will raise their bodies from death. He means not just at the end of life, but in the endings, in all the endings in our lives. The living Spirit keeps raising us to life all the time. And in our reading from the book of Ezekiel, that gives us the same message in a different and powerful way. Ezekiel's vision is for God's people in exile. They felt dry and isolated and separated from God. That seems familiar, doesn't it? There was no life left in them. In this living death, God sends the prophet Ezekiel to prophesy to them. Ezekiel speaks to their dry and lifeless bones. God's Spirit reanimates their bones and restores their very flesh. God breathes life back into their restored bodies. God brings life in their hopeless and desperate state. Through breath and Spirit, God restores life to what has died. All of today's readings point to this truth. God brings life out of death. In whatever ways we are dead or separated from God, when we think it's too late for God's help, when our lives feel ended, God comes and brings life into us. God, through Jesus, brings new life when we die. Thanks be to God. But God also brings new life here and now, in the deaths that happened this side of the tomb. God is able to bring new life to our dry and lifeless bodies now. Nothing is impossible for God in His great love for us through Jesus. As Jesus assures Martha, He assures us. Everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. This is good news when we die, and it's good news right now. Amen. Peace.